Crisper Roots, 29. All right, 2 cover albums this week. Those are not the sorts of things I usually gravitate toward, but I do gravitate toward these for one reason and another. So, we got the Little Roy and Lizzie show. Bluegrass killers, man, from Georgia. And their album, All for the Love of Sunshine. Is that right? Yeah, All for the Love of Sunshine. That's a Hank Jr. song. They got a number of really obscure and some not so obscure covers on this album. But the title cut is Hank Jr., I think. Why is my hair going so crazy? I should have looked first. And the other one is that we'll talk about is by a really hardcore traditional country singer, William Michael Morgan. And Country Classics Volume 1. All right, I guess let's start with William Michael Morgan. He looks like the cowboy from the Village People. But one thing that means is that he's extremely handsome lad, probably a tall cowboy-looking guy with a handlebar mustache. Of course, the cowboy dude from the Village People in turn looked like the Marlboro Man or whatever. Like, these are tropes, but he's inhabiting that trope, which seems to be back. William Michael Morgan. He had an album a few years ago. I heard it and I liked it a lot, actually. Like a basic commercial country, traditional country album. I think he had one mid-level hit with that, like around 10 or something like that. And then kind of maybe lost his contract and stuff like this. Kind of maybe the second single tanked and stuff. All right, and earlier this year he put out an EP. It's actually quite good, I think. But there has to be, I guess maybe he's looking for a way to distinguish himself. It's sort of. I don't know. It didn't immediately strike me as earth-shaking, but it should have immediately struck me as super solid by a really, really good country singer. So anyway, here's just a little slice of the EP onto something from earlier this year by William Michael Morgan. Like, here's a song that could be a hit, but I don't think it was.
This used to be my favorite place for having fun and getting sunlight on my face. Now I don't need protection. I put away my Ray-Bans. Yeah, they might as well be buried here in the sand. 'Cause the sun don't shine anymore in Acapulco, and the seagulls don't fly above the bay.
I think you can kind of fill that in. Sounds a lot like Alan Jackson. He can really sing like Alan Jackson, and I love Alan Jackson so much, all right? Maybe Alan Jackson is fading a little bit too, so we need a new Alan Jackson. But actually, William Michael Morgan is kind of a uniquely excellent country singer, I say. It took me a little while to grok this. Okay, so in my view, there are 2 basic modes for great male country singers. One of them is big voice, probably big, deep voice with real power. It might be Conway Twitty. It might be, I should have made a list. Let's start with Conway. He can really sing like Conway as well, William Michael Morgan. Or, I don't know, Dave Allan Coe or Waylon Jennings, okay? But, so like the big, deep voice country baritone. And then there's someone who's much, much more emotive, where it's delicate. There's melisma everywhere. And the basic model is George fucking Jones, okay? Or Vern Gosdin, all right? And that's the other way to sing. It's kind of gentle. He's not, a singer in that mode is not trying to blow you away. Or like, whoa, you know, it's just, is delicate and highly emotionally charged. Now, amazingly, William Michael Morgan, he's one of the few people I could name that do this, can do both those modes. And that's why I think he did this Country Classics album, which goes, Let Your Love Flow, Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me, Rhinestone Cowboy, Behind Closed Doors, Good Old Boys Like Me, Louisiana Woman, Mississippi Man. That's a duet, of course, with Kylie Frey. Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes? She's Acting Single, I'm Drinking Doubles. Please Come to Boston, The Ride, and Everything That Glitters Is Not Gold. Why Me, Lord? Christopherson. All right, those are, it's not like he's trying to dig up obscure songs. He's trying to show that he can blow you away on the country classics. There's not even an attempt to rearrange these songs. It's contemporary production, sounds great, super traditional. But it's, you know, this is not new versions of these songs. So what he's trying to establish is that he's just the kind of guy who can sing like Charlie Rich, who can sing like Don Williams, who can sing like David Allan Coe or whatever. Or who'd you rather have singing some of these songs than the original artists and stuff like this. I just think these performances are astounding. And so I feel like what he's trying to do is like, here are my qualifications. You didn't love my albums, I guess, so far, but I'm telling you what, man, like, let me show you my CV, because I can fucking sing a country song. All right, so let's just try a couple of these. I mean, here he is singing about himself, maybe. Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes? The great George Jones song. I did a column in the New York Times called Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes? About the philosopher Arthur Danto. Yes, I was vaguely hinting that I should be the guy. I didn't say that at all, though. Okay, who's going to fill their shoes? The great George Jones song. Here's the gentle, melismatic mode.
You know, this old world is full of singers, but just a few are chosen to tear your heart out when they sing. Well, imagine life without them. All your radio heroes, like the outlaw that walks through Jesse's dream. No, they'll never be another red-headed stranger, a man in black and Folsom Prison blues. The Okie from Muskogee, or hello, darling. Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes. Who's gonna fill their shoes? Who's gonna stand that tall? Who's gonna play the Opry and the Wabash Cannonball? Who's gonna give their heart and soul and get to me and you? Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes.
All right, so you know, that's the same arrangement as George did, really, and it sort of invites a comparison to George Jones, and it stands up. Yeah, all right, so you got to be bold to do something like that. Like I say, sort of establishing your qualifications. Well, how about this lovely cover of the Don Williams song, Good Old Boys Like Me? Now, one thing I heard the lyric wrong. I didn't realize that Tennessee Williams puts in a appearance in this song. I thought it was like those Williams boys back in Tennessee, but it's those Williams boys, Hank and Tennessee. There's several literary references here in these covers. Maybe that was partly how they were selected. I forgot how great this song is, too.
When I was a kid, Uncle Remus would put me to bed with a picture of Stonewall Jackson above my head. Then Daddy came in to kiss his little man with gin on his breath and a Bible in his hand. He talked about honor and things I should know. Then he staggered a little as he went out the door. I can still hear the soft southern winds in the live oak trees. And those Williams boys, they still mean a lot to me. Lincoln, Tennessee, I guess we're all gonna be what we're gonna be. So what do you do with good old boys like me?
Probably William Michael Morgan is not as good a writer as Don Williams, but possibly is a better singer. That could even be the definitive version of that song 30 years later, 40 years later. I guess most of these are 70s, but not all of them. No real surprising choices. They're all classics, I guess. All right. Why Me? A beautiful version of Christopherson's Why Me, Lord, for example. Let's try this one. Maybe the definitive version of David Allan Coe's The Ride. Well, it can't be because Coe's version is eternal, really. But, about hitchhiking and getting picked up by the ghost of Hank Williams.
When I was thumbing from Montgomery, had my guitar on my back, when a stranger stopped beside me in a antique Cadillac. He was dressed like 1950s, half drunk and hollow-eyed. Said, "It's a long walk to Nashville, would you like a ride, son?" Well, I sat down in the front seat and turned on the radio, and them sad old songs coming out of them speakers, solid country gold. And I noticed the stranger was ghost white pale when he asked me for a light. And I knew there was something strange about this ride. And he said, "Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings?" He said, "Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? If you're big star band, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride."
Well, can you make folks cry when you play and sing, I would say this. When he covered All That Glitters, the Dan Seals song that for some reason hits me real hard every time, I started crying, okay? So it's expressive too. Boy, that everything that glitters thing. It's hard to take. Even though I've never been in a rodeo. I've never even been to a rodeo. Much less all these cowboy songs and drifting through the rodeo life songs. So that's William Michael Montgomery. No, sorry. William Michael Morgan. William Michael Morgan. All right, let's talk about Little Roy and Lizzie. Oh, these people are standard on the bluegrass circuit at various festivals, and they have their own festival in rural Georgia. I'm blanking on the little town where they originated. Little Roy and Lizzie are rocking some shit, man, and this is a great album. All for the Love of Sunshine. All right. Little Roy Lewis is originally a member of the Lewis family. His parents were country bluegrass stars. The whole family was started in the 50s or 40s, maybe, or earlier. Yeah, 50s, something. 60s. And Little Roy was a banjo player in the Lewis family. Reminds me of Little Jimmy Dickens a little bit. His stage persona is similar. Big joker. Always telling jokes on stage. Okay. Quite like little Jimmy Dickens. He sort of has a similar body and similar movement styles as Little Jimmy Dickens. Little Roy Lewis. And I met Little Jimmy Dickens. I saw him several times at the Opry. He was on every night, it seemed like. And I met him on an airplane one time, and I got him to sign my copy of the Bhagavad Gita. Because that's the only thing I could find to get him to sign. So I've got the world's only copy of the Bhagavad Gita signed by Little Jimmy Dickens. It's my most valuable possession, no doubt. Anyway, Little Roy Lewis reminds me of Little Jimmy. But I'll tell you this, too. He's a killer on the banjo, dude. I don't know. I mean, he's like maybe a protege of Don Reno or something like that. And, all right, I don't know how old he is now. Pretty damn old. But he's still playing so fast, so clean, so hard. Like Scruggs rocking finger banjo, you know. And Lizzie, I should have looked up her... I don't know, not much info on Lizzie. I should have looked her up. Actually, both of them are multi-instrumentalists. Lizzie is also a banjo player, like a killer frailing banjo player. They both play all string instruments. You know, like he'll pick up an auto harp. She'll start playing the guitar. She'll play the mandolin. It's just incredible. Okay, and they're real aggressive, real funny, fun on stage. And real traditional. And this, you know, I guess probably they mostly do covers. I should check their whole oeuvre. But they kill. And they do a lot of gospel songs. They mix them in. And this 9-cut LP is mixes gospel and secular songs. Okay, how about this beautiful version of one of my favorite songs, "Drifting and Dreaming," the Jim and Jesse song. Well, that's an awfully nice little bluegrass arrangement. They're usually up-tempo and hyper-aggressive because there's no limit to how fast these people can play. I mean, Little Roy might be in his 70s, pushing 80 or something. They're still playing like that? Not like that, but All right. How about this? Georgia on a Fast Train. That's a great song. Old Billy Joe Shaver song. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey. I wasn't born there yesterday. I guess the version that rings with me is Commander Cody. Georgia on a Fast Train. It also reminds me of a hillbilly that used to reel around the neighborhood of Chevy Chase, D.C., saying like, y'all ain't no better than me. I've got a 5th grade education. Check out the instruments.
They say my mama left me the same day that she had me. Said she hit the road and never once looked back. Now I thought I'd like to mention my grandma's old extension is the reason why I'm standing here today. I got all my country learning, milking and churning, picking cotton, raising hell and baling hay. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey.
I think it's Lizzie killing the fiddle parts.
Seems like a haystack makes a waste of every time. And I pray my old soul when you hear them rangers roll, you better know I'm gonna get my share of mine.
All right. That's a workout, and I like to do a workout, man. All right. But they love a hymn as well. They're rowdy, they're fun, they're funny. They're godly.
I have seen my last tomorrow. I am holding my last breath. Goodbye, sweet world of sorrow.
Auto harp.
Life begins with death. I am standing on the mountain. I can hear angels' songs. I am reaching over Jordan. Take my hand, Lord, lead me home.
Yes, that was an auto harp solo. All right. Yes, my new life begins with death. All right, so William Michael Morgan and the Little Roy and Lizzie show, covering everything. All right, covering everything like it should be covered. And that's Chris Barus 29. Y'all take it easy.